All right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely morning in which the Most High, a higher has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Just coming with a little something, something. Being nosy in the process. I was just thinking and how the day of Lot and the day which is Solomon and Gomorrah and the day of Noah and the ark and the things that were taking place back in those days, I can see them. I can see them very, very clear. And because I can see it very, very clear, I can embrace the fact that we are in that day. And we're in a day in which many think it's going to really kind of pan out the way they feel, okay? The way they want to make it to be, okay? They're not looking at the truth of the matter, of the issue, of the time in which we are in. People are pretty much hoping for the best, or the best, in a sense that best represents their personal feelings and their personal emotions and their personal opinion. That is what they're seeking. They don't want you to tell nothing that's going to make their flesh feel uncomfortable. So they rather make you wrong so that they can live wrong and feel right. And they're doing such, I would say, an excellent job in trying to pretty much, let me see if I got everything with me. Let me pull over to the side here. They're doing an excellent job pretty much trying to get others to, and themselves, not just others, but themselves as well, to feel a certain way so that they won't have to endure, anything. You're not going to escape it. You're not going to escape. Okay? You're not going to escape what you think you are about to escape. One thing I will say, I think it's a little deeper than Noah and the ark back in the days of Noah and back in the days of Solomon and Gomorrah. I think it's much deeper. I think it's much wickeder and much deep darkness, demonic, evil. Back then was likened to. But I think it's heavier today because this is the end game in which we are in and being able to behold the end game. And because this is what you call the real end game. See, Noah end game and Lot end game didn't really end it to the point where it would never return. This way, it's the end game of everything you have ever seen and knew of. It would never return again after the end of this game. So it's different. It's different. And I think a lot of things that's actually taking place is also separating the wheat from the tare. I really do. I really do. which is a good thing, because what happens, you allow it to separate itself, and it dictate exactly the area of where it was intended before the foundation of the world. I like that. I like that. So when I see that and I feel that in the atmosphere, I kind of embrace that sort of thing, because it's very helpful to know that things are being judged as I speak, and it's not waiting for a cloudy day or a rainy day or a day in which man is thinking that they're going to be able to prepare for. It's not that time. It's not that. People who think that they're going to be able to prepare for tomorrow and be at the head of the line before others, really believing that they're going to have everything they need, they're going to be successful, and they're going to be able to embrace what is about to happen to them because they so prepared. They got their weapons, their guns, they got their food, they got their crop, they got their home out in no man's land. All of that is really vain and vexed. It's really vain and vexed. Even I myself would desire to be away from the city and the counties. You know, I would rather be out seeing or living amongst me and the Father in heavens in the midst. I mean, just out there. I feel that I might end up out there, but you best bet I'm not out there thinking I'm going to escape the city, the counties and the other surrounding areas and be away from trouble or be away from or having things out there with me that others not going to have, or I'm going to be in a better spot or a better position than others because they're going to catch chaos and I'm going to be out there. That's not what I'm looking for, you all. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for to feel the secluded feeling of knowing, like I know now, it's me and him. Okay? It's me and him. And when you feel that it's you and him, you tend to do more for others, and you tend to do, how would I say, the things in which he is speaking unto you. I had a really good example of a young lady telling me that her and her husband, and it was years ago, had gone so far out, and they was out in no man's land. I don't know what was it, California somewhere, but it was just out in the area, and nothing was around them. They could see nothing. And she began to talk about how the Spirit moved. That's what I'm speaking of. I'm not trying to beat Yah at his right hand, or beat Yah at his stretched out arm, or beat Yah at his power and at his prophecy. No. Many people don't understand that's exactly what they're doing, because they're trying to prepare themselves for a situation in which they think they're going to outlive and they're going to beat others at. That's not how the Most High going to allow it to go. You see what I'm saying? So when we're trying to get out, we're trying to really get in with Yah. Okay? Think of it like that. You're trying to get in with Yah. You know that you can't be kept unless he keep you. And that all that you save and all that you have put aside is vain and vexed. Only thing is worth something, and all things is him that is in you. You have to know that you know if you don't have anything to eat, he will be your food. You have to know that you know if you don't have anything to drink, he will be the drink that you thirst for. You see? You have to know that you know that you want to be in that place with him. If you have no food, no water, no place to call home, Whether if you decide to get your camper and go far out in, that's good. But know that you have to have the right mind, not that you so good at what you do. You know how to make the right choices. You know how to save and you know how to prepare and you know how to do crops and animals and all these old things. You. And you're expecting him to be the overseer after you said you prepared your own way. See, you have to, if you can't help people with their inner man, helping them with their outer man, it's vain and vast. So when you're asking people to do things and they need to grow things and save and so on, you first have to go after the spirit man and then the outer man. But the spirit man it's what's going to survive. We don't live on bread alone. And that's the problem I have with all of them that's on this ever platform, thinking that they can live a way that override what the Most High or higher has already prophesied shall come to pass. Shall come to pass. There's not anything saying that in that day you need to do this, as far as saving, preparing for who time period? Yes. It's really nothing in there saying that. We do it because we do it out of our flesh, thinking that because of the economy and we get fear, we gain this fear of the economy going to be without and going to be dropping, or everybody else are saving and I need to save and I need to put away because I can see things going in the situation. Let me tell you, I don't care what you put away. I don't care what you save. I don't care where you go. If you're not right inside in your inner man, it doesn't matter how you prepare for your outer man. We missed it. We always missed it. And always shall miss it. Because that's exactly what Yeshua was saying on the mountain. We don't live on bread alone. That means you can save all the food in the world. You can save and prepare any way that you want to make you safe. You can do that. But when it all is said and done, if you are not living on every word, which is spirit and truth, that proceed out of the mouth of Yah, you can save up the whole world and ain't going to gain nothing but death. You ain't going to benefit nothing but the lake of fire. So when we're talking and asking people to save up stuff and put away with it after you have given and put away that which you need in your inner man, because that is what's going to really keep you. Food, bread alone is not going to keep you. It's going to be what's in your inner man. And after you can store away all that which feed the flesh, guess what? It's not going to keep you. Nor will your inner man see eternal life. Because a lot of people, they do. You got a lot of people saving up all kind of weapons and guns and all kind of things, thinking that, okay, I'm going to fight my battle. And when he had already told us, this war is not flesh and blood. So any war that comes after us or any issue that comes after us, we have to understand it is not flesh and blood. So what feeds flesh and blood? Food. Okay? And everything that we take in and around us pleases our flesh. He said we don't live on that. We're not in a war where it's dealing with flesh and blood. But every word that proceeded out of the mouth, which is spirit and truth, and the war is not natural, it is spirit. He told us that over and over, but we still can't get it, won't get it, and it's over. Okay? So Sister Deborah is just saying that when I think about him saying in that day about Noah and the ark and about Lot, I look at what he's saying and I put it in the warning that the things in which we understand and we feel in our flesh, it's going to be destroyed. Only thing that we have within our spirit is what's going to hold us up in our flesh. Do y'all get that? I don't know if you do, but even if you don't, it's not meant for you to get if you can't grip the things which are spirit and truth. And that's why it bothers me to hear everybody talk about the things that pleases the flesh of man and never get to the core of the matter of the things that is given to the spirit. I'm sorry, I'm trying to watch my traffic here. That is in spirit and truth. No one wants to focus on that. A lot of people want you to even think. This is what I've been hearing. This is what they want you to think. Don't think that everything is spirit. It has to come natural. No, baby, guess what? It's finished with the natural. It's still existing in the spirit. And that's one thing they won't accept. That's why he said they deny the knowledge, because they want you to only have the knowledge and the understanding that is in and that feeds the flesh. And that's it. Because if they can't, see, people don't understand. Many that call themselves teachers and revealers and thinking they're showing you things and teaching you things, those are people who think that they can feed you through flesh and blood and satisfy you and keep you in la la land while they're feeding you food for your flesh. They don't want to give you anything that's spirit and truth because they don't have the food for the spirit. Okay? They only have the food for the flesh. So they can't give you what is spirit and truth because they don't have it. So they have to give you only what they have. The war, first of all, has never been our war. Why is that? Because Deborah is going to let you know the war had already gotten victory in the heaven. When it started, it ended. Where? In the heavens. Heavens know that the war in which we, within our flesh, is fighting and being a partaker in, it is not flesh and blood. It knows that. It has warned us. Wait a minute, y'all. This thing is not flesh and blood. It's bigger than flesh and blood. It's spirit, and y'all don't get it. That's because everything has to rest in spirit. Why? Because before there was flesh, there was spirit. Okay? Always been. That's what is eternal, the spirit part. So when we really want to make everything we say and think and we portray and we want people to believe, it's because we want them to believe that everything rests in the natural, in the flesh. When people start speaking spirit and truth, they don't want to accept that because they don't have what it takes. They are not equipped. They have not been given the spirit and truth. They have not been given the Ruach HaKodesh. They have not the fullness. They don't have the truth of the matter of anything outside of what can feed the flesh. So they continue to feed you flesh. They continue to battle with one another in the flesh because that's the only thing they can battle in. You can't battle nobody in spirit and truth because it's not in you. It's not for you to battle spirit and truth because it ain't yours. It belongs to the Most High, a higher. So people even like to come on your page and try to battle you with a verse that comes to their flesh. Why? These verses will come to their flesh is because they feed flesh. They see flesh. They understand flesh. Flesh is the only way they can deal with individuals. And they think that all things is founded in the flesh. What do you mean the flesh, Deborah? The flesh understanding, the flesh interpretation, the flesh opinion, the flesh wisdom, the flesh knowledge. That is how people have captured many, and many have fallen in the great falling away because they turned from the taste that they had of the spirit of a higher, and they went full force in understanding the flesh of man, and they got left out there in La La Land. Okay? So I, Sister Deborah, would say to you This thing is bigger than flesh and blood. Flesh and blood ain't got nothing on this thing. Okay? Flesh and blood ain't got nothing on what is taking place and why and when would other things take place and what day we are in. We are in that day. That's spirit and truth, y'all. You see, no one can cut into that and say, oh, no, we ain't. We in time and season. No, you can't. We are in that day in which was prophesied by many. And while we're running around here trying to make this thing a bread alone thing for the flesh, something that's going on with the flesh, we're really deceiving. We're that the one that he say would deceive many prophets and teachers that would deceive many. Okay, it is so much that I have been revealed regarding what took place in the first chapter of Genesis and the second chapter. It is so awesome because people don't understand what was if nothing is sealed. If there's nothing 100 times, 1 million times sealed in the King James Bible, where you're King James 16, 11, it don't matter. Okay? Because Yah is the spirit that really teach you all things. Just like any other thing. Always, you go to school, you can go to a job, you can go to the job in orientation, you can go to college, you can go to high school, you can go anywhere for training, you're going to always end up with a book to take home. You see, to have with you. That you can go back to and refer. Well, the Most High Yah is the true teacher of all things. Not some, but all. If you shut your ugly mouth long enough to sleep with your mouth closed, maybe when you wake up, you might learn something. He's been giving you something in spirit, in vision and dream, so that when you wake up, you have a total different revelation than when you went down. Why? Because you shut your mouth. People will not close their mouth long enough to receive things in vision and dreams. Because Yah has a lot he can say, it's a lot he can reveal. But he said, Deborah, they won't close their mouths. But how do he get them? Oh, he'll knock your tail out. He'll put you in visions just to give you what he want to give you. But we're in that day that he says over. I'm not coming to them on that route. I'm not coming to them in that way, in that power, in that authority. Because even after the 400 years, if you ain't learned nothing, within the 400 years you've been here, you ain't gonna learn nothing. Because there's an end game, and that means that you'll be destroyed. And even though you're going to be destroyed, the most important thing is to learn that. Learn that you are going to be destroyed. Why? Because it'll cause you to put that flesh down and teach your spirit, have your spirit taught. It'll teach you how to deal with your inner man and put that fleshly man down. But as long as you think and feel, really feel within yourself that there's no end game and he's coming to get you and take you to the promised land, and he's gonna do this and he's gonna do this and he's gonna make them do this and he's gonna make them. Let me tell you something. People need to look back over their lives. Yesterday I did a video to come out of the closet on Facebook, because I got a lot of people that I went to elementary, high school, and known since I was in elementary. It's on that page. And I wanted to come out the closet to say who I am and whom I am. And even though I felt pretty good about doing it, it doesn't mean that everyone else is going to embrace it. But it's not about everyone else embracing it. Only those that have the heart to listen and realize that, wait a minute, y'all, if she is who she says she is, who am I? You see what I'm saying? Maybe I need to come out the closet. Coming out of the closet means come out this flesh. Come out this flesh. Tell who you are in the spirit realm. That is what my video was about. Is coming out in the spirit realm. Out of the flesh realm. and telling people who I am in the spirit realm. And it's a beautiful thing for me, even though at the age of 58, the Most Higher told me that I had a hedge around me. So that hedge that he had around me gave people that was around on the other side of the hedge to have their own opinion and their own interpretation or their own understanding of who I was. And the best way they can describe me that was on the inner part of the hedge that y'all had around me was me. They say that I was me. But you know what I found out? And I use this all the time. I use this all the time. It ain't that I'm mean. I'm non-tolerant. Non-tolerant. That means I'm not going to play in darkness, sorcery, witchcraft, Satanism, evil, wicked, unjust, darkness. I'm not going to play in that. And I'm going to come out shooting to let you know I'm not a part of it. I'm not going to do what is wrong just to be right with you. I've never been, and I never will. So I now, throughout in the last, say 6 years, I call it what it is to me. Non-tolerant. I'm non-tolerant to those things. And if that makes me mean, I'm mean. I'm mean. I'm real mean. You see? Because I'm not a participant of those things. And I don't want it around me nor in my midst thinking I'm going to participate with it. So I'm non-tolerant to it. So if that makes me mean, I am mean as mean can be. But I posted, and I'm gonna tell y'all something else in that post. I also spoke about, because all the family members are also on my Facebook, I spoke about family putting individuals in black boxes, okay, thinking that black box means that they can be the light, but the one in the black box makes them feel that they are the light because they got one in the black box that they can always refer to is what they really are. So they has this thing about putting people in the black box. But with me, I'm like this here. I don't have no problem being in the black box. Put me in the black box and put a lock on it or whatever you want. Guess what? I'm going to always have light. Hallelujah. In the midst of that black box. And what I also learned was 2 weeks ago, I invited all my sisters them to come to my store because I was doing a half off. Did you know that I have had this store for about 2 years and a half and they have never been in my store? You know why? Let me tell y'all why. And it's not because we're enemies, we can't get along. They always having stuff and inviting me and my family. They always participating in it. You would say that you ain't never seen a family that close. That's what you would say. But what I learned was what the Spirit had spoken to me when I was a young teenager. He said, Deborah, the way they have categorized you, they going to continue to see you like that until they are in their grave or until they're not going to change. And I knew that, but I just figured, here it is, 2022. Invite your family. You got all these people coming back, half off of everything in the store. Why not share that with your family? Did you know they would not come? They would not come, not one. Because what it does is it stir up, it brings their envy they already have set within them, and their jealousy they have set within them. It brings it high, and it causes it to rise. And they're not wanting to be in a situation where they see me with something and see me doing something and have to battle that feeling, because they have had that feeling for a long time. So to keep that feeling from reaching that point, they would not come. they would not participate, okay? Because it's just that hurting to them to see that their sister, again, throughout life, have always been one that's different or sits on a different side of the table than they do. Let's put it like that. So I noticed they did that. Let me tell you what happened. I was suing Walmart about, say, 20 years ago. And it was awesome the way everything was going. The store manager and the district manager decided, because I used to work at Walmart, but I got my son hired at Walmart, and they discriminated against him. And I sued him. And the EEOs sued them as well, and they got $300,000. The CEO. So I had to go and get an attorney and sue them personally, when I thought that going to the CEO, I get that money. My son gets that money. They get it. So they get the money, and now I'm suing them through my attorney. And it is so much wicked and evil, even more you talk about it and you look back, but you shouldn't look back, you should keep forward. But I'm just giving this kind of a brief testimony. Walmart decided to, and these are the store managers, whom I've worked with. They decided, okay, we're gonna. They don't know nothing about me suing Walmart. They didn't have nothing to do with that. They said, well, we're gonna give you all these packages that's open, and they started off with like fruity balloon. Hanes, all these here t-shirts of every size. I didn't even know underclothes for men nor women goes up to that size, but they began to give me so much to where I had each room of the house full of brown boxes. Did you know I called my family over and told them to come and get what they want? And I told them that all they need, they could get 1 box, 2 boxes, or whatever. And I had hundreds of boxes. And it's a supply. And if you got friends that can use, they can come. My family refused to come. Why? Why do they refuse to come get brand new stuff? Even, let me show you how deep it is. St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, they came. And they was off the chain, because they was like, now how is it that they give you this type of stuff and give us broken items and items that's not even worth anything? I didn't say nothing to them. I knew that this was a spiritual thing that the Most High God was doing. So as I was collecting all of this, and they kept saying, Miss Deborah, we got another load. Can you come pick it up? I'll pick it up and go to the house and take it. But I was getting to the point where you couldn't even get in the house. I had boxes everywhere. And what they were also doing, they were also giving me things that hasn't even been opened. I had socks, t-shirts, underclothes from infants, from newborn baby clothes, newborn baby everything. And all the way up to sizes I never knew exist in men underclothes and women. Then they start giving me belts and all this, and I'm like, and what they do is they got a machine that's that opens up, and they throw all this stuff in it, okay, and they compact it down. But what they can do is they send for, I guess, the truck or whatever to come get it. They said, since Miss Brown is getting it, we're gonna box this stuff and give them to her and cut the middleman out. And they did it. Because each store, a store manager can do what they want. And this way, that saved them money from paying this big company to come and take all these things. Oh, we can give them to Miss Deborah, and we don't have to call them every month, and we don't have to call them even once a year. They did it for me. They did it. They gave me these items for almost 2 years. One day I went, this lady said, well, Miss Deborah, you've given so much. You need to go out to Wentzville. I said, Wentzville? What's a Wentzville? They said, you need to make some money now. You done gave so many organizations. You done given and given. And my family wouldn't even come to get the stuff. And when they did, you seen the envy and jealousy that was on them. To the other ones didn't even want to come to get theirs. That's just how bad it is. But that was a part of my coming out. I said I'm coming out. A lot of people thought, I'm gonna show you how the hearts of people. The hearts of people were graft for you coming out. If you were saying you coming out because you gay, you coming out because you want to do something wicked and evil. Oh, they would get on there and they all for it. But just to come out and say who you are in the spiritual realm, you ain't gonna get too many people wanting to take heed or to hear your video, because it hurts them. It hurts. It causes their jealousy and envy. Okay, and they lies to manifest. So I noticed that about my family. They don't participate in anything that I do when it come down to helping people, giving stuff away. And let me tell you, when they got there, they were shocked. The two that came out, they were shocked. Now, I got a large family. I'm talking about my immediate family, my sisters and their children, which is adults as well. They won't come out. They won't come out to participate in anything that's going to stir up their jealousy and envy higher than where it's at already within them. And I said that's sad. I've been here 2.5 years, and they're closer to my store than anybody that I know. They are good. 7-8 minutes from this store, and they never been. I'm just showing you how I know about wicked and evil, jealousy and envy. See, when you own up to what it is, then you move to your next level. So that's where Sister Deborah is at. I'm on like the 5th, 6th level when it comes down to my family. None of it bothers me. It just lets me know that it's a situation that y'all told me when I was a teenager that they're going to always be. They're going to always have that spirit of envy and jealous. And it's not going anywhere. They're going to die with it, you know? So it doesn't matter. So, and that's life. That's a part of what life deals. Not that the breath of life deal you, but that just living. That's the sort of how would I say surroundings. No matter how righteous and just and good you be, no matter what you giving people, I'm a person that never got my hand out begging. When I say begging, asking people, you can get this, I give you this for this. No, I just give, because in my mind, everything that I give, I end up getting more and more and more. And I've learned that in my spiritual walk. That's why it's better to give than to receive, because when you are giving, there's no end to your receiving. You see what I'm saying? They constantly giving you. When you give, you're constantly being given. I put it like that. And it gets to the point where it's hard for you to receive because you are a giver. And you know that you are a giver. So when someone's saying, okay, Miss Deborah, we have a truckload of electronics. We're going to drop it back. In me, it hurts me to receive it. You see? Why? They're giving it out of who they see should be entitled to it. But I'm like, oh, I'm not worldly. I'm not entitled because I'm the one that gives. So that there too is an issue. That's not good. You have to be able to receive when Yah is ushering you a blessing after all the time you have been a giver. So you have to let others be able to be a give and gave as Yah has created you to give and gave. That's what the world calls love. That's what Yah really category love. Okay, he don't use the love. He used give and gave, because everything he did is wrapped in give and gave. Anything outside of that is not of him. Okay, so Sister Deborah, would say I hope you got something out of it. And if you need to come out on your Facebook, come out of the closet. You don't have to remain there. It's over. It's finished. Let people know who you are, how you gonna continue to walk in what the Most High has created you to walk therein and be what Yah has created you to be. So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of that this morning, and I say I will be back, and shalom and shalom. Thank you.